Well, howdy there, y'all. Yamahsaki here. Welcome back to the channel. And today is part 4 of the 1980 Toyota 4x4 pickup preservation. So let's rock and roll. So if you guys remember, in the last video of the Toyota preservation, we ran into a bit of a problem, me and my dad did, and it involved the wiring harness. If you guys remember, the SR5 that is out in the front of the garage there, we robbed the wiring harness out of, or we were going to. Since then, we have. And I'm going to show you the cab here in a minute. We actually got a little bit more progress done on it. We are actually stuck on one of the engine bay components. And yeah, so that's where we are so far. Let me go ahead and start showing you the progress that we've done. So last night, I was up until about 3 o'clock in the morning working on this thing. Got the airbox in. This is your climate control. It's got 2 wires that go here. One that plugs into the box itself, and then there's a wire up here that connects into the harness. Like I said, this is the SR5 harness. So we have a SR5 harness in my truck now. Got this coil on. Got this IC regulator on in here today. There's one of the hoses that go to the airbox. Stole these seatbelt clips out of the SR5 as well because, well, they connect. But the original ones, the original seat belts would have connected too. I also got these seat belts in. The only part I am missing for the seat belts is another bolt that goes on that side. You can see over there. I'll zoom in. Right there. You can see where the hole is, right where that red is. And then right there is the other part that actually bolts on right there. I was asking my dad what these little clips were, and he said that this was for the tire jack handle, which it's true. We actually have a really rare piece right here. This is the handle to one of the tire jacks that would have come original with your Toyota pickup back in the day. So that's cool to have in there. This airbox actually did have all this climate control on it, and I did find out, I'll go over here and show you, that one of these rods or cables actually goes over here into this duct, which goes through here. Air is forced through here when you're driving, and you can open that up through what cable is it? This bottom one here. I'll move it and I'll show you. So if I move that cable, it moves that whole piece. It shuts it. And I had to rob this little clip here. You can kind of see it. It's just a metal clip that if you pull down, you can release this cable out from being connected here. And this little piece just literally slides on to this duct here, and that's what holds that cable. Because earlier last night when I was trying to figure out where this cable went, I figured out that it went right here, and I tried moving it and the sleeve was moving itself too. So that's what that clip is there for. It's there to keep that sleeve in place so the cable can actually do the work. But as you can see that this wiring harness is more complete. We have our wire going all the way back through the cab back here, and that goes to your tail lights. We have that wire running to the seat belts. Then there's that connection right there, which I'm not sure about. But it also has this wire going down here, and that would connect to your transfer case, and it would show up when you switch from high 2 or to high 4 or low 4. It would show up on your gauge cluster as you would be engaging 4-wheel drive. So that's what that wire is for there. I did get this piece back in here, the hood release, because we had to take it out because if you guys remember, through those rubber seals that go through the cab there, as well as the wiring harness, the hood release goes through there too. The main problem we're experiencing right now is this coil and igniter. This is the original coil and igniter that would have come with this truck. The problem is this is also an original connector that I hacked off of the wiring harness today. Because if you can see, these are the original connectors from the SR5's coil and igniter, and they are not the same. So they won't connect. So if anybody out there knows where we can get an original SR5 1982, or not 1982, 1981 Toyota 4x4 pickup coil and igniter, please comment down below, because that's what's tricking us right now. Because there's more wires going from the wiring harness than there are to the actual coil and igniter. We also did order some parts. We were able to order a dash pad. So that top piece right there, that dash came off of that truck, if you remember. It's my phone going off real quick. Sorry guys. We also got these in. These are the air ducts, your defroster ducts that go up here, and there would be a hose that would be right here, and they would connect there. So there's that. But I'm going to have to patch these up because they're broken, as always. We also did order some more parts. Aside from the dash, we ordered a new master cylinder for my brake booster, and we ordered a new clutch cylinder right here for my clutch. Got those from Rock Auto, pretty cheap. So we got some more parts coming in, and yeah. Well, guys, I'm going to actually go outside, and I'm going to get some lights hooked up so you guys can see. And I'm going to show you the SR5 and all the parts that I took off, just to give you guys a little bit more of a clear picture on how that goes together. There's not that many parts that go into a 1980 or early 80s Toyota Dash. They're basically all the same, and they all connect to this big dash frame right here. That's why I love older vehicles, because they're more simpler to work on, and there's not a lot of trouble that you run into, per se. So, stay tuned guys, let's go look at this SR5. Alright, so this is the SR5 right here. And as you can see, she's all torn apart. Wiring harness is out. Most of the parts are in boxes right there. I'll show you that in a minute. There's basically nothing left. I used these seat belts here as a reference because originally I thought the seat belt box, the big part that holds most of the seat belt and the retention spring, went up there, but it doesn't. It goes down there. And also paid close attention to them. Maybe you can see it, probably not. Well, right next to that hook there where the wiring harness goes back to your tailgate, it is slanted right there, and that's to make room for that wire. They're both slanted though, and this one slants this way. It's just, they're backwards, and so that might be important. I still need to get the speedometer wire out. That probably goes down to one of the wheels. I really don't know if I probably could tomorrow try and drop that transmission. I mean, it's literally almost out of there. I think it's just the cross member now that's holding it on. But I'm not sure. I will get to it when I get to it. Anyways, I'm going to show you the parts over here. We got oil and voltmeter. But the thing with these guys is I'm not going to use these. I'm going to use like some of the parts. Not even this. Actually, well, I could use that one actually. That one's in good shape still. I've got another dash that is original to my truck. These are some more air vent hoses. They go on that, like I said. Got the gauge cluster here. Says 82,000 miles, but from what my dad said, the guys that had all these trucks, my dad knows really well over the years, probably spanning back 20-30 years. He made a deal with him, and it was a screaming deal, like $600 for the SR5, that truck, which was a yellow truck. I think it was an 80 long bed, all stock, 20R, 4-cylinder, 4-speed. That one got hit by a deer. And then you guys probably know about the Trekker. I made a video on that about a year ago. That's sitting out in the lane now. It needs a carburetor, but it ran on the stock Asen. But we do have a Weber carburetor that's going to be going on my truck too. And then there's that blue sunroof one out there. And he just bought them all for like $600 about 20 years ago or so now. 20-30 years ago. And they were beaten really hard, so the miles on them, like that one, the SR5 82, that was the owner's truck. This was the owner's truck at one point. So they got beaten hard, real hard. I don't know, I don't know about keeping this cab and this body here. I mean, it's really rusted, and I've heard some of you guys tell me that this paint scheme in this truck here was really rare. Just the paint scheme, but it's got bad rust. Like you can see through the floorboards there. Looks like those ones might be okay, but the fronts are screwed. And the bed, of course, is rusted. But those parts, some of those parts are going to be used because I have a black silverish dash that was original with my truck, guys. This is a seat, just a bucket seat, came out of a 90s Honda Civic. We're actually going to put these in. They almost line up. So this thing had a bench seat, which I would want. I love bench seats. But we're going to try and modify the seats to fit in here. They kind of line up right here and right here. And then on that side too. But because it was a bench seat, there's no hole drilled right here for the actual bucket seat combo. So my dad's gonna fabricate and build the seats to fit in here. He actually did that. He actually did that with his 85, if I remember. No, I think it was an 86. He put Mustang seats in that thing, and they're still in there. It's cool. It's cool. I think that's pretty much it to show you guys. Still got to figure out the windshield wiper, how that works. But yeah, we're stumped on this guy. So like I said, guys, if you guys know where I can get an original 1981, I don't even think it has to be an SR5, just a well, it might be a 1981 SR5 coil and igniter, because I need 3 wires. 1, 2, I need 2 wires for it, and they look like this. These are the wires that I need. Or no, is that right? Yeah. Oh no, that goes to the wiring harness. But yeah, I'm correct. I'm correct. I need these plugs on that coil. So if anybody knows, please comment down below. It would be greatly appreciated. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys, on our progress. Not sure what I'm going to work on now and into tomorrow, because my dad wants to wait to put the dash on before we even put that in. But I tried to tell him that I think we can put it on like this and then get that dash in there, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more content. Yamahsaki out. See y'all later. Stay tuned for more Toyota videos.